Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to What's the 504. I am your host, Christy B. Hey, thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you are new, welcome to my channel. And if you are returning, yes, again, I know I have not posted in a while. But I promise you I'm back. I had to upgrade computers and all this stuff. I was running out of so much space. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get anything added. It was just such an issue on both there and my phone. So yes, you guys, I'm back in business and I look forward to posting more often for you guys to give you contact and just to give you my opinion on a lot of things that's going on right now. So anywho, so I am here today because I kind of wanted to touch on the story regarding the two missing little boys, Orrin and Orson West. You guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard about the story now. These little boys have been missing since December 21st, right before Christmas, and the adopted parents are highly suspect. Okay, the story that they're given is just so fishy. It reeks. It reeks. Okay, I smell so much garbage coming from these people. It's not even funny, and this is just my opinion again. So I'm going to go ahead and read off the update that we have going on. They are now up to $100,000 in reward money for anybody that has any information on helping to locate these little cute little babies. Okay, they're only 3 and 4 years old. Oh my God, this situation upsets me heavily. So I'm going to go ahead and read what's here, and then I'm going to give you my opinion as I always do. And again, if you're new, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up, you guys. It will be such a wonderful thing to do because it helps the algorithm. It helps get my videos out there. And guess what? It doesn't cost you anything but just a tap on your phone. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read what's going on here. So it says, reward for missing California city boys reaches $100,000. Okay, so it says the reward for information leading to the return of 2 California city boys who went missing in December has now grown to $100,000. Victory Baptist Church and West Coast Realty are the latest California city organizations to contribute funds to the effort to find Orrin and Orson West, who are 4 years old and 3 years old, respectively. Victory Baptist and West Coast Realty each recently donated $10,000, adding to the $30,000 put forward by the extended family of the 2 boys. $25,000 offered by California City itself, and $10,000 each from Greenstone Cannabis Retail and Preferred Towing, and $5,000 from Murphy's Pools and Spas. Don't you just love when the community works together and chips in like this? Because I'm thinking that this will definitely help speed up this process and find these little boys, which unfortunately I suspect some serious foul play going on here. Okay, let me keep reading. Those with information on the whereabouts of Orson and Orrin are encouraged to call the California City Police Department at 760-373-8606. Again, that number, 760-373-8606, if you have any information concerning these 2 little angels. The 2 boys have been missing since December 21st when their adopted parents, Trezell and Jacqueline West, say they wandered off while playing in their backyard. The community has been given scant updates by the California City Police Department, although Police Chief John Walker has said he suspects foul play. The disappearance has caused a significant reaction within the California City and beyond as amateur investigators piece together bits of information to try to discover what might have happened to the boys. Although the Bakersfield Police Department, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Kern County Sheriff's Office have contributed to aspects of the search, nothing has come to the public's attention about the boys' whereabouts. Last week, the California City Council voted to extend the city's portion of the reward money to January 26th, according to a report in the Antelope Valley Press. CCPD did not respond to a request for comment on Tuesday. So I really have to question, why is there so much? Again, here's another case with a lot of ambiguity going on. But I will say that because this is a current investigation going on, that there's probably reason why the police have not released a lot of information, because they are in the background gathering what they can to try to piece together what happened. And I think that they don't want to alarm the adopted parents of how much information they have. So if they were to come on the news or to give constant updates, I think it could hinder their investigation. So if you have seen any of the video footage from what the news channels have on these parents. The original story that and mind you, like the father, the adopted father, is the one that's really doing most of the talking, and the wife, or AKA the adoptive mom, is kind of just nodding her head most of the time in agreement. And yes, oh yes, that's correct. Yep, that's right. You see a lot of this nodding and stuff going on, and it's kind of odd because normally when you have a situation where with missing children, you know, it would usually, you would see the mom usually, because that maternal instinct just kicks in. And I'm not saying that fathers wouldn't be concerned either. Of course they would. But usually it's the mom that's at the forefront of the cameras in the news, pleading and begging, if anybody has any information, I just want my child back. But you're not really seeing a lot of that with really from either one of them. They're very calm and collected. There's not hardly, it's like no emotion going on here. It's just very much like, so I went to the store, I picked up some apples and oranges. They were out of juice, so we just decided, hey, we're just going to juice some stuff ourselves. We got in the car, we went back home, we didn't notice anything fishy. It's just like very, very objective and matter of fact. There's no emotion, there's no urgency, there's no again, everybody deals with things in different ways, but this is just my personal opinion that instinctively maternal instincts, even if you are an adopted parent, if you genuinely care about these children and you miss them and you're worried, that's gonna come across in the TV screen. And I'm not getting any of that from these parents. I'm not getting zilch, zero, nada, nothing. Okay, it's just like, oh, if you have any information, please call, please let us know. And then like they're not even out helping with any of the searches that took place. And it's just like, oh, well, the police told us we need to stay home and all this kind of stuff, but I'm just not buying it. This story reeks. And then, the adoptive father, let's look again, what's his name here? So it's the West family. Jacqueline is the adoptive mother. Let's see, Trezell. Here we go, Trezell and Jacqueline. Okay. The story that he's giving, or they're giving, was, okay, all of the kids were home. They have 4 other kids, right? I think 2 of the other kids may be adopted. I know they have 2 biological kids. So there was supposedly a total, I believe, of 6 kids. 4 of the kids were apparently, this is the story, apparently inside. And the adoptive mom, wanted to wrap gifts, but she didn't want the young ones to see, I guess, because we go along with the whole Santa Claus thing, right? So apparently they had the other young kids, mind you, they're only 3 and 4. This is Orrin and Orson West. They're 3 and 4 years old, and apparently it was cold outside. So, but they wanted the young kids to go outside while she wrapped gifts, but yet the older kids got to stay inside in the warmth, which makes 0 sense to me. But okay, this is the story that they're giving. So, apparently the children were outside, Orrin and Orson were outside playing with chalk or something like that. And the adoptive father decided, oh, it's cold, let me go gather some wood, which sounds ridiculous. But of course, I'm not from California. I don't know a lot about California. So I don't know. Maybe that's like a normal thing out there. They just go out and they just buy wood. They just get wood from wherever. And they decided they want to warm the house with somebody. Like, I really don't understand the logic, but okay, that's what he's saying. He was trying to get some wood. And, then he noticed that the gate was open, that he left the gate open, but yet he was throwing wood like over the gate. So there's so many things that are conflicting here. There's camera footage from like a neighbor's house that shows the time frame where he's saying that he went to search for the boys. And you can clearly see, like, there's no sense of urgency. Like, you kind of see him, he goes out the gate or goes to the gate like once, kind of looks around, then he goes back. Then he apparently gets in the car and he leaves. But they're like, during this process, there's like no sense of urgency. There's no energy. There's no like, oh my God, like, where are the boys? They can't find the boys. You don't really see him like go in and get her. Like, hey, can you come out and check with me? Like, what's going on? We can't find the boy. Where are the boys? Like, it's just like very blasé, just very laissez-faire type thing. There's no urgency. And so when the police department brought the dogs out to sniff for the boys' scents, for Orrin and Orson West's scent, the dog never picked up a scent outside. never picked up any scent outside the house, which means the boys were never out there in that yard, period. Okay, the dogs picked up the scent inside the house, which, let me backtrack, because apparently the Wests moved to this new home in California City back in September. Okay, so this is not where they have been staying for a long period of time. They just moved there in September. So October, November, December, January. So we're talking about 4 months roughly, right? But at the time they reported the boys missing, which was December 21st, which was 4 days before Christmas, they would have only have been there maybe 2 months, 2.5 months at most. And so if the dogs are not picking up the scent outside the house, then that means the kids were probably never there. Like, based off of that fact alone, if you have been living there since September and the boys have been living there with you since September and it is now December, how is it possible that the dogs have not picked up a scent at all? Which would lead me to believe that something happened prior to them moving there. That the old resident that they were at needs to be searched and whatever the word is, forensics, to see for blood, have the dog sniff out over there. My thinking is that either something happened to those boys at the old house, and the boys never left that house, okay? Or the boys were never at the new residence. So something could have happened at the previous residence, and they did something foul with these boys. They never made it to the new residence. Now, the dog picked up the children's scent inside. So to me, that can be one of two things. Either something happened as soon as they moved to the residence and they never got a chance to go outside, okay? And that's why the scent's in the house. Two, something happened at the previous residence and maybe the boys were brought to the house after something occurred. Maybe when they made the move, they did move the boys to the house. If something bad did happen to them, they never made it to the yard, right? So, and then the third option here is that maybe they never made it to the new residence, and maybe the scent that the dogs are picking up could possibly be previous clothing items that the boys wore that carried their scent. So there could be items for the children there, like blankets, stuffed animal, clothes, maybe things that have lingering scents of the boys, and that's why the dogs picked up the scent in the house, but did not pick up the scent outside in the yard where the West family is stating that the boys were when they disappeared. Another thing that makes this situation very, very odd is that, it's one thing if you have like one toddler outside, right? A 3-year-old. Okay, so maybe that could be realistic that the toddler can kind of wander off and then like somebody just grab them or something. But you have two toddlers. So the odds of two toddlers wandering off and nobody seeing anything is just extremely unlikely and extremely odd. Toddlers, they're going to make some kind of noise or something. You're going to hear one laugh or one cry. Like, it's two of them together. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. This is my opinion. They could possibly be telling the truth. We'll find out when all the facts come out. And we pray that these little boys are found safe and sound. I pray that they are. But from the way things are going and based off the information that we have currently, I do not think that those boys are going to be found safe. I think that something has been done with these little boys, unfortunately, and I feel bad for the family, for the loved ones, and for even the biological mother. She has come on TV and pleaded and cried to please find her children. So there's just a lot going on with this situation. It just reeks. I don't see any emotional concern or urgency from the adoptive parents. I don't. Again, everybody deals with things in different ways. Maybe some people don't want to show emotion, but if you even look at the video and the body language, the adoptive father is standing there with his arms closed the whole time. They're both wearing masks on their face during the interview with the news channel. And like I said, she's just mostly nodding and agreeing. Yep, that's what happened. Yep, that sounds right. Yep. Like, it's just kind of like, here's my story and you co-sign on it. There's no real like, oh my God, and this is what happened, and I'm so, oh my God, I miss it. And then it's like a whole lot of additional details added to the story that really doesn't make a difference. Like, who cares? It's like, oh, I went out, I noticed the gate was open. I got the wood. I brought it in the house. I looked out. I saw the boys weren't there. I tried to look for them. Like, it's so very methodical in how it's being explained. It's not like, oh my God, we were inside, we were wrapping gifts, we look up, we didn't see the boys, we ran out. This is how you normally would say, something that you actually experienced, right? We were wrapping gifts, we put the boys outside, we wanted them to play outside, we looked away for a moment, they weren't there, we checked outside the gate, like, but they're adding like all of these extra inputs in there to me that are not relevant, and it's like there's more added extra inputs throughout the story than there is about the actual boys. So it's just like, why? That's not, we don't care about that part. We don't care about how many pieces of wood you were getting. We don't care that you threw it over the fence. None of that stuff matters. What we're concerned about is these little boys. How were they, that day? Were they in a happy mood? Were they in a sad mood? Were they jolly? What was their demeanor like? What were their personalities like? There's not really much information being given about the boys in general. Normally when people have children that are missing, they'll be like, please, she was such a sweetheart, or he's such a sweet baby, please send him back. He just loved to smile. You're not getting any type of emotional verbiage from this couple, from the adoptive parents. There's no emotional verbiage. There's no crying. There's no tears. It's just no emotion there. It's just like, it feels like just another day. Like they're just explaining about something that happened to them, just a regular day. Um, I'm just disappointed because here these are adoptive parents. So you are saying, I commit to giving these two little boys a decent chance at life, right? Their biological mother was not able to take care of them or give them what they needed, and the state trusted me enough to say, hey, you know what, we're going to give you guys a chance to make them have, to be permanent parents of the children, Orrin and Orson. And so just to hear that this has happened, I know the biological mom, like I said, she's been on the news channels and different things, crying, asking for her child and this and that and whatever. And I don't know the details of her situation or why she lost custody of um of her boys, or Orrin and Orson West. I don't have the information on that. I don't really believe that that's an intricate part to this story, because the main concern here is that the state entrusted this couple to be parents to these two little boys, bring them into their home, keep them safe, protect them, love them. And based on the information that we have right now, it does not appear that this is what occurred. Um, and even neighbors were talked to, like the police officers or different journalists have been out there, so they have never even seen the kids ever. So how is it possible that you've been living at this new residence for 2 months and not one neighbor can say that they've actually ever seen those little boys one time? Not once. Not once. So, you guys, I want you to chime in, tell me what you think. Comment below. Let me know what you think about this. Have you been following this story? What do you guys think could it possibly happen here? It's just very upsetting. But I am glad to see that a lot of the people in the region and the area, they're all chipping in to try to get some reward money to make sure that these little boys are found. It's amazing what can be accomplished when the community works together. Because these little boys, they don't deserve that. They do not deserve whatever has happened. If they're safe, great, bring them home. Bring them home. Okay? But if they're not safe, this is really sad. This is really sad. This is really sad. And it's definitely a failure. Unfortunately, I understand that, Department of Health and Human Services and Child Protective Services, they can only do so much, right? But yeah, like, what's the background information on these parents here, on these adopted parents. Like, do they have records? Do any of them, well, like, what's their history here? You know, it's just really sad. The state trusted these people with these little boys, and now look where we are, and nothing about what they're saying makes any sense. No maternal parent, no parent with maternal instincts or any type of emotional attachment to their children um, would be so calm and collected and, you know, rehearsed, you know, have this whole story together. And like I said, the mom doesn't do much talking at all, which is crazy to me because, again, as a mother, you just, the love that you have for your children, you know, it's just, I don't understand. I don't understand. This is a story. This is a story. It does not feel like an actual situation that occurred. It really feels like a story. And I do hope we get to the bottom of what happened. And whoever, if it turns out these kids are no longer with us, then the people who did this need to be brought to justice. Plain and simple, you guys. So that's my opinion on the matter. Again, my opinion. We are still waiting for all the facts to come out in this case, but based on the information that we do have, based on the video interviews of the adopted parents, this is my assessment. How I view, you know, what may have possibly occurred, or, you know, what the actual situation could be. Again, a personal opinion. Okay. All right, you guys. So anyway, thank you so much for checking out What's the 504. Again, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload, you guys. Again, go ahead and list down below. Let me know your opinion on the matter if you're following the case, if you have any comments or any feelings or what you think occurred here. Okay, you guys. And you guys have a good one. Smooches.